The wise man is not subject to events, but events are subject to the wise man. Niccolò Machiavelli. Niccolò Machiavelli was an important Italian political thinker and historian of the Renaissance, born in Florence. He had a varied public career, serving as a diplomat and government official during turbulent times in Italian history. His most famous work is The Prince, published in 1532 after his death. Machiavel is often associated with the term Machiavellianism, which describes a pragmatic and realistic view of politics, independent of ethical or moral considerations. He outlined tactics to maintain and consolidate power, even if they involve controversial measures. The book is frequently misinterpreted as a guide for rulers to hold on to power. Despite controversy, Machiavelli's work had a lasting impact on political thought, establishing the idea that politics should be analyzed scientifically and separated from morality. His work challenged traditional views of power and governance, contributing to the formation of political realism. In addition to The Prince, Machiavelli wrote other influential works, such as Discourses on Livy, which discusses the importance of republican institutions and people's participation in politics. These discourses reflect his interest in the Republic as a more stable and lasting form of government. In this video, you will understand why you should stop being too nice, presenting 7 lessons from Niccolò Machiavelli that you can apply and use in your life whenever it's appropriate. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe so you won't miss any valuable content we have prepared for you. Number 1. The end justifies the means. It is important to clarify that the quote attributed to Machiavelli is not a real one from him. The negative image of Machiavelli as a defender of lies and manipulation is often based on distorted interpretations of his works, mainly The Prince. Machiavelli did not advocate immoral actions per se, but he emphasized that a ruler should be willing to do whatever is necessary to maintain and consolidate their power and ensure the stability of the state. It is essential to contextualize the time in which Machiavelli lived. In 16th century Italy, the political reality was characterized by power struggles among independent states and rulers, many of whom were not hesitant to use cunning and aggressive tactics to maintain their authority. Machiavelli sought to understand and describe this complex political reality, and his observations were fundamental to the understanding of politics in his time and beyond. Lesson 2. Virtue is more important than luck. Machiavelli emphasizes the dichotomy between virtue and luck when discussing the nature of power and the ideal ruler. According to him, virtue is more important than luck in the political context. A virtuous ruler possesses political and strategic skills, knowing how to gain favors and maintain power, expanding influence without relying solely on chance or luck. For Machiavelli, virtue goes beyond moral issues. It is also an essential quality for a successful ruler. Political virtue involves wisdom, cunning, intelligence, and the ability to act with determination and firmness when necessary. A virtuous ruler knows how to deal with adversities and seize opportunities to achieve their political objectives, while luck is inconsistent and unpredictable. Virtue represents active and intelligent control over events. Machiavelli believes that a ruler should overcome the difficulties imposed by fortune through their own ability and political savvy. This does not mean ignoring luck or external factors, but being prepared to face and adapt to them. Number 3. The good use of cruelty. Machiavelli advocates the use of cruelty in certain circumstances as a necessary political tool to preserve the state and the ruler's power. He argues that in times of instability or threats to the state's security, the ruler must be prepared to make cruel decisions, even if it means acting against their personal moral principles. Machiavelli contends that the ruler should balance virtue and cruelty, using them strategically to achieve their political goals. He emphasizes that while being both loved and feared is desirable, it is sometimes impossible to reconcile both qualities. Therefore, the ruler must choose to be feared when necessary because fear is more reliable than love, which can be fickle and easily. Number 4. It is better to be feared than loved. According to Machiavelli, love is volatile and fragile because humans are naturally selfish and driven by their own interests. People can change their loyalties quickly, especially when they perceive that they can gain more benefits by switching alliances. the love that subjects have for a ruler can be easily forgotten or replaced by other feelings when their needs are not met. On the other hand, fear is a powerful emotion that is hard to ignore. When the ruler is feared, people will hesitate to challenge or betray them because they are aware of the potential negative consequences they might face. Fear can be an effective tool to maintain obedience and order in society, preventing revolts and disorders. However, it is important to note that Machiavel does not advocate the exclusive use of fear at the expense of love. He believes it is preferable for the ruler to be able to combine both qualities, being feared and loved. Still, he highlights that if one must choose between the two, fear may be safer for preserving power. Number 5. Few see what we are, but everyone sees what we appear to be. Machiavel understood that politics is often a complex and relentless game, where power is contested among various actors, and the wise use of appearances can be an effective tool to achieve political objectives. He emphasizes that as human beings, we have several dimensions in our personality that may not be readily visible to others. We may possess qualities and intentions that we prefer to keep hidden to avoid appearing vulnerable or to protect ourselves from adversaries. This notion is especially relevant in a political environment where betrayal and manipulation are common. By creating a mask or character for the public, the ruler can control the perception that people have of them. By presenting a calculated and strategically crafted image, they can attract the sympathy and support of subjects and allies while concealing their true motivations and intentions. The idea of concealing one's true nature is partly a response to the instability and uncertainty of the political landscape. By not revealing all their cards, the ruler can prevent indirect attacks from enemies, as those enemies would only attack the masked or the constructed public image. In this way, the ruler preserves their ability to act and react strategically without revealing all their intentions and weaknesses. However, it is important to note that the mask cannot be maintained indefinitely. As governance continues, the ruler's actions and decisions will eventually reveal their true nature. Therefore, the management of appearances must be carefully balanced with effective actions and results. Number 6. The first method for estimating the intelligence of a ruler is to look at the people around them. The idea that we are the average of the 5 people we associate with highlights the human tendency to absorb the characteristics and behaviors of those around us. This can happen consciously or unconsciously, but the influence is undeniable. If we surround ourselves with intelligent, positive, and motivated people, we are more likely to be stimulated to develop these same qualities in ourselves. Similarly, if we associate with negative, unmotivated, and questionable individuals, this influence can also affect our attitudes and decisions. We can observe the patterns of behavior, values, and beliefs prevalent in that group. These patterns can reflect the individual's personal choices and affinities with certain characteristics and ideas. It is essential to remember that, although the influence of our social circle is relevant, each person has their own personality and individuality. However, coexistence with certain people can have a significant impact on how we express ourselves and interact in the world. The popular saying, "Tell me who your friends are, and I'll tell you who you are," reinforces the idea that our choices of friendships and company can reveal much about ourselves. Our social relationships can provide valuable insights into our interests, values, and aspirations. From this observation, it is possible to identify positive or negative influences that may be shaping our mindset and behavior. Number 7. It is dangerous to free a people who prefer slavery. A pattern of behavior in weak individuals is called voluntary servitude. These are people who choose slavery willingly because they do not want to be more than they are and do not wish to utilize their full potential. Voluntary slaves will always feel uncomfortable when someone attempts to liberate them. These people prefer staying in their comfort zone and believe that it is better to remain in mediocrity than to risk pursuing the life of their dreams. Do not waste time and energy trying to rescue these people, as they will always be ungrateful. Do not try to change them, as it is not worth losing your time for them. It is much easier to live in mediocrity. While some people may feel more comfortable in familiar situations, others may be struggling due to factors such as systemic oppression, lack of opportunities, or psychological barriers. As a society, it is important to address these issues and seek ways to support the growth and personal development of all individuals. Thank you very much for watching until the end of the video. What do you think of these 7 lessons? Leave your opinion, it will be a pleasure to read your comment. If you are new here, consider subscribing to journey together with us on the path of wisdom. Until next time.